It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Orlando Magic playing against the New Orleans Pelicans at Smoothie King Center. And for New Orleans, this is their first time facing off this season. Last year, they split the season series at a game apiece. Well, let's talk about Anthony Davis. Boy, this guy just on a nightly basis, really something to see. Shaq, where do you rank him in terms of the bigs in the game?
Well, I need a drum roll for this one, Kenny. Drum roll, please. Anthony Davis, he's the best defensive big with his ability to change shots. Not only that, extremely efficient offensively. He has a PER. That stands for Player Efficiency Rating for all you dummies.
Thank you,
Of 31 last season.
Ooh, 31.
31.
Wow, I don't know who had a
From New Orleans, 2K Sports proudly brings you NBA basketball from the home of the Pelicans. Looking at the last game for the Orlando Magic, it was a loss to Chicago. And they were still in that one right up to the end, guys, but lost by a couple of buckets.
They played well enough to win that game. It really could have gone either way.
Yeah, you've got to play the entire 4 quarters. I mean, they played well for 3.5 quarters. And that's just not enough. You can't expect to win if you don't play a full game.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So on the floor for Orlando, Harris and Gordon, the athletic forward pair. Payton is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Smith in at the center, filling out the middle. Well, it was a slow start to his rookie year for Payton, but he came along very strong.
Yeah, it looked really good for the Magic down the stretch. Even recorded his first triple-double. I think there will be more of those in this career.
And the basket good.
No hesitation at all right there. Just right up against a much bigger defender.
Man, and I love that fearlessness, that aggressive attitude. Boy, I love watching guys play with that kind of abandon and freedom, Greg. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Here's Payton, following the basket by Brandon Jennings. Payton kicks to Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. Nice shot by Smith.
I love how he used his height advantage on that shot.
And he had the nice soft touch with it, too.
Evans dishes to Davis. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Misses the baby hook. For Orlando, they've gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Now we go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Scott Skiles. Doris?
He said a big factor in this game will be how well they limit penetration by Tyreke Evans. He said he's so unique in that he's so big and so strong and also tremendously slippery and elusive off the bounce. What we've really got to cut off his right hand and then dare him to shoot over the top. I'd rather he have a wide open look from 18, 19 feet than a clear lane to the rim any day of the week. Kevin, the marching order, pretty clear cut.
And thank you, Doris. And so here's Orlando. The Pelicans make their last shot.
It appeared as though the spin left him a little dizzy, Kev. That may have thrown off the shot.
Stolen by Gordon. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. And that one's good. Gordon's got his second basket of the night. For the New Orleans Pelicans, their last game a loss to Golden State.
Yeah, they couldn't do any better than a shooting percentage in the low 30s on that night, guys, and that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, I can't name a team that's going to find a way to win shooting like that. I mean, they never had a chance with the touch they had that night.
The shot's good from Smith.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him. And the Magic struggled last season, still waiting on one of their young stars to just take that next step. And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Orlando leading. They set the pick. Payton kicks to Gordon. To the paint. Smith gets it to go on the assist by Gordon. 6 points for Smith. Toward the end of the year, the Magic saw leaps from Oladipo and from Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, I like those two young guys, Kevin, but it's hard to compete in the NBA without a top 20 scorer.
And Davis, here we go. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And really, I thought Anthony Davis a season ago just took the league by storm. I mean, jaw-dropping numbers. I think you could argue if the Pelicans' record had been a little better, he probably would have won the league MVP.
A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Asha. Anderson comes in for Tyreek Evans. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Norris Cole in for Brandon Jennings. Now, here's Watson. Oladipo, left side. Pelicans pull it in. Davis has got his 3rd rebound tonight. And you look at the development of Anthony Davis last season, far and away the best player, efficiency rating-wise, in the NBA.
Yeah, that's called PER, player efficiency rating, one of the 4 best marks in NBA history for Davis, alongside Chamberlain, Jordan, and LeBron James.
Here's Watson. Following the basket by Anthony Davis. Inside, Oladipo. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And Victor Oladipo, after a solid rookie campaign, really took it up a notch last season, even after missing Clark the first 9 games with that facial fracture.
I love this kid's gravitas. I mean, he's got a presence about him. His percentages improved across the board, field goal, 3-point free throws. And I like his work ethic and his confidence.
New Orleans making a switch here. Perkins is checked in.
And talking about Victor Oladipo's improvement, a lot of it has to do with his work ethic. Also his pregame film studies, something his college coach absolutely raved about. And all that showed up for him big time last season.
There's Azania. And here's Oladipo. This is DeFry. Just 5 to shoot. Magic moving the ball around. Orlando needs to get off a shot. And that one goes long.
You know, back to Oladipo. We always talk about 5-star phenoms coming out of high school. He was just a 3-star guy. He's had to work for everything he's gotten, and I think that served him well. He's got a hunger and drive that you can't manufacture.
Here is Watson following the score by New Orleans. The dish to Oladipo. Here's the 3, and it's good. Oladipo's got 5 points so far.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Here's Cole. And the shot is good. Cole's got his first basket.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And Oladipo, here we go. Passes it to Hazania. And there's the 3-second violation. Here's Cole. He's covered by Watson. Cole, the pass to Ajinça. That gives them the lead. Ajinça's got his first basket of the night.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. Pelicans lead by 1. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. Guys, what stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
New Orleans in the lead, and so in the game for the Magic, the 2 and the 3, it's Fournier and Harris. Gordon out there with Smith. And it's Payton in at point guard. Screen by Ashik. Evans attacking. Can't hit. Some solid defense from Harris.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Jennings with the ball. Ashik with a screen on Payton. Here's Jennings. It's hauled in by Gordon. On offense, here are the Magic. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
From 13, Pelicans with the rebound. And now, here comes Gordon leading the break. Nice shot by Evans.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control. And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for New Orleans.
They've set the first half tone by getting out on the fast break and getting the defenders on their heels.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Anthony Davis, he's checked in for New Orleans.
And thinking back to the Pelicans' playoffs from last year, let a 20-point lead slip away in that fourth quarter of Game 3. But they played better than a sweep and got valuable postseason experience for that young roster.
Here's Fournier. Postgame at 13. Unloads from 13. Omer Ashik with the rebound.
I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Davis sets a screen. Here's Gordon. It's hauled in by the Magic. Gordon's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Payton kicks to Harris. Feeds to Fournier. There's the pick. Pass to Gordon. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jennings kicks to Davis. Launches a 3. Pelicans keep it alive. Fader on the way. And good as it rattles through the hoop. Davis has got the lead up to 3 now for the Pelicans.
And sometimes you just can't get around your defender there. You got to hit him with that hot top fade.
Payton dishes to Gordon. And they double up Gordon. Fournier, that's for 2. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Even double team, he had the vision to see the open man.
And for Aaron Gordon, so much fanfare entering the 2014 draft, selected 4th overall, which was actually a couple of slots higher, I think, Greg, than many experts thought.
I agree. And, a lot of people obviously liked him, but Orlando clearly loved him and had very high hopes for this young man. And, of course, the injured foot, only 11 games a season ago and never really got back on track.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Perkins is checked in for Usher. Alexis Ajinça comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Norris Cole in for Brandon Jennings.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points. And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Here's Cole. On the wing, Evans. The feed to Cole. Just 4 to shoot. And there's the rebound by Dedmon.
And, getting back to Aaron Gordon, his defense is really what had scouts most excited. He has the rare combination of strength, lateral quickness, and ups to defend multiple positions.
Now here is Harris. He's coming off a 13-point game against Chicago. And down in the low post Harris has got his first 2 points.
If they think that kind of defense is going to get it done against him, they're mistaken.
And talking about Aaron Gordon, everyone knew coming in that he was kind of unrefined. You're betting on his upside and hoping that he develops a consistent shot. And boy, if he does, you're talking about a guy who could become a perennial all-star. And last season, the Pelicans made it into the playoffs. I mean, could have had an easier road to get there if they were stronger against the Eastern Conference.
So for the Pelicans, Anderson comes in for Tyreke Evans. And it's Pondexter in for Gordon. The Magic also changing it up. Channing Fries checked in for Harris. Hezonja comes in for Fournier. And it's Watson in for Shabazz Napier. Now, here's Oladipo. He has 5. 1:05 left in the second quarter. And Hezonja gets it to go. And the Pelicans were solid against the East, Clark, 16-14. But as Greg was just saying, a lot of games left on the table for them.
Well, they had the lowest win total against the East of any Western playoff team. Really, the Pelicans were lucky to get in, given how many games they gave away against the East.
Here's Pondexter. Magic knocking down the tray. Anderson can't get it to go.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation.
Pelicans trail by 4. Pondexter, the pass to Cole. There's 21 seconds left in the first half. The 11-footer. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Ajinsa's got his second bucket tonight. Oladipo, left side. Hezonja. That 3 off the mark. Out of bounds. Orlando takes possession. Oladipo. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's the Magic up 2. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2Ks. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point game at the end of one. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
They played aggressive, lockdown defense. That was the main difference in the first half. Because when you come out and establish that you're going to play physical, that sets the tone for the rest of the game. On top of that, I think they showed more energy, outworking and out-hustling.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter is set to go moments from now. We will be right back here after the game.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Anthony Davis really making a difference here.
And he really just broke out the entire arsenal of post moves there in that first half.
And I think he might even have a few more tricks up his sleeve. I mean, he'll break them out as we start heading down the stretch. I'm sure of that.
Davis and Ashik in the middle. Gordon the off guard with Evans at the 3. And it's Jennings in at the 1. It's the Pelicans 5. Smith with a screen on Davis. Payton kicks to Gordon. And Davis sends it back. And now it's Jennings running. He can go all the way. Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Jennings has got it all tied up now for the Pelicans.
It's as if the defense just let him go.
He'll thank them for that because he got a chance to perform a little razzle-dazzle on that one.
Fournier dishes to Gordon. And it's Harris off the drive. 6 on the shot clock. From 12 feet out, Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. last season was possibly the best of Tyreek Evans' career, at least since his unbelievable rookie campaign.
Yeah, and Kev, a lot of that has to do with his injury history. I mean, last year he played in 79 games. That's the most of his career. So you could say it was probably the healthiest season he's had since he was a rookie. Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Gordon kicks to Jennings. Evans against Gordon. Evans passes to Davis. Puts the fadeaway right on the money. Davis has got 12 points in the game.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Payton, good.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And this is the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
In their meetings last year, they split the season series. Happens a fair amount between teams from the East and West.
And, you know, when you only see a team twice a year, Greg, it's hard to really get a good understanding of who they are or a good feel for them. Oftentimes, that can lead to a series split.
And the basket by Gordon.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
Now here's Payton. The drive by Smith. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Ashik's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up.
Well, whether you call him the brow or ant or the future, Anthony Davis made the leap in year 3 to franchise superstar. I mean, still though, he remains humble, determined to improve, and dedicated to maximizing his immense potential.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1. And his former coach, Monty Williams, played with some greats. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. He says he sees that same desire to dominate on Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he wants to be great and doesn't see himself as a finished product, which is a good thing. That means he's going to continue to stay humble and hungry and put the work in.
The Magic shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. The Orlando Magic didn't make the playoffs last year for the 3rd consecutive season, Greg. They knew it wasn't a realistic goal for them.
Yeah, and last season wasn't really about making playoffs.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented. For plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, the great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. Outside Jennings. Back to Davis. Got a piece of it. And here we go with the Magic fast break. Fournier's shot is off.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Davis kicks to Jennings. And stolen by Gordon. Payton with the ball. And it's Gordon picking him up. Just over 3.5 minutes through the 3rd quarter of play now. And Fournier kicks to Payton. 5 to shoot. The pass to Fournier. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Payton kicks to Fournier. On the wing, Harris. We've got 1:55 left in the 3rd. And Davis pulls it down. The Pelicans have gone 4-6 from the field since the start of the 3rd. Here's Evans, and the rejection by Smith. Davis drives in, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. There's the call. It's a foul in Orlando. Pelicans shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game. And that one falls. That puts them up by 1 point.
Davis playing very well. 8 rebounds, and he's done his job at the charity stripe. He's gotten 4 of his points from there.
And that's a good place to get them. They don't come easier than that, but you've got to get yourself there first.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Asha. Anderson comes in for Tyreek Evans. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Gordon. And Cole subbed in for Brandon Jennings. 5 on the clock. Oladipo goes in. Sweet little floater. Oladipo's got 9. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put out.
Looking over there at Greg, he's enjoying every second of it.
Yes,
Mark.
he is.
Yeah.
Listen, the fans, guys, are getting their money's worth. Heck, I should have paid to watch this one. It's been a nail biter.
Well, the Magic knew that last season would be one break for development. A young team like they had needs to grow before they can really compete.
And you touched upon it, Kevin. They really were a young team last season. 3rd youngest team in the league by the end of the year. How about an average age of just over 24 years old?
And you talk about that low age number for the Magic. You mentioned it a moment ago, and they had several rookies last season. That's why they were so young. It was as good a year as any to get their feet wet and see what those young guys could do.
Pass to Watson. He dishes it to Fry. This one for 3. A second chance effort. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
Perkins, who's checked in for the Pelicans. And both free throws good for Fry.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pondexter dishes to Cole. Screen by Perkins. And Anderson has it in the corner.
Clock is clearly on their side.
Exactly. And they can hold it for the last shot, and I think they will.
Out to the right wing. Lasagna. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Lasagna's got 5 now. Now Ajinça, a 3-ball. Can't connect. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Magic lead by 3. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The 4th quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Magic leading by 3. 4th quarter on the floor for the Magic. Harris and Gordon, the athletic forward pair. Fournier out there with Payton, and it's Smith in at the center. Jennings against Payton, and it's Gordon. That time on the assist by Payton. Payton's got 4 assists now tonight.
And I'm sensing something special going on here tonight.
It certainly does have the feeling of a classic, Greg. Let's see which team is better equipped to handle the pressure. I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
He feeds it to Gordon. Tries from 10, and it's wide right. It's off the rim. Pelicans trailed by 5. Evans. That's good.
Nothing too fancy, just simple execution. That's getting the job done when they need to make every possession count.
Completely agree with that, Clark. They need stops and really can't afford any wasted possessions. Those inside shots are nice, high-percentage looks. Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Outside Gordon. It's back to Jennings. Shot clock at 5. 3-pointer. The shot is off. And Orlando will come the other way. Here's Harris. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Now it's a 7-point Magic lead.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Well, this is really one of the nicer buildings in the NBA, right downtown. Clark, this home of the Pelicans across from the Superdome.
Kevin, you're always worried about how close we are to Bourbon Street when we come here, man. But yeah, this was a fortress for the Pelicans last season as they won some big games here for sure.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, Kevin. Alvin Gentry had some words for his team over that last break. He is not happy with their perimeter defense, saying, guys, way too many open shots for them beyond the three-point line. We've got to press up closer and try to crowd them off the arc. Guys, we'll see if they got the message.
Gordon kicks to Payton. On the wing, Harris. Defended by Gordon. Dishes to Fournier. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits.
And you talk about the big wins here for the Pelicans last year. About they beat the Warriors late in the year, which was huge to get into the postseason, as well as the Spurs on that final day to fight their way into that A spot.
Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Anderson. Davis kicks to Ashik. Banked in off the glass.
Well, that's a brain freeze right there from the entire defense. Now is not the time to lose your focus.
And you know, the Pelicans ended 28-13 here last season. A 6-win improvement for them from the season before. They can be a scary team when this place is jumping.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. One problem the Magic faced last season was depth. They really weren't a deep team, and it hurt them along the way.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they had the second fewest bench points in the league, and that number was really low because they didn't use the bench that often. Starters did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Fournier pass to Payton. Smith outside. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. And for the Magic, they would try and address the bench for this season, both through the draft and free agency.
Doris Burke has some information for us, Doris.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Scott Skiles said to his team. The strategy included running the offense through Gordon. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris.
And guys, the Magic didn't luck out and jump into the top 3 in the draft. Still ended up with a high pick, and that'll help add another nice piece to their puzzle. They've accumulated a lot of good pieces, but now they need to start making it work.
And that one's good. And now a 7-point Orlando lead. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Magic.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And also, guys, they take a lot of pride in their ability to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
And the Magic making a change here. Oladipo's checked in, and it's Smith, top of the key. Oladipo against Gordon. Oladipo goes in, and it's Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Here's Evans. Davis kicks to Ashik, and the foul called on Jason Smith. That's foul number 2 for him.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
Fades back. Got it, and the Orlando lead has been put down to 5 on the bucket from Davis.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today. Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
And he gets it to go.
I love that plan. Set up the opportunity for the mismatch.
Yeah, knowing they have to get a bucket here and exploiting the height advantage where they can find it, well, that's a no-brainer to me.
Out to Peyton. Orlando moving the ball around. 14 feet away. Pelicans with the rebound.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
And one area where they haven't struggled has been transition.
Yeah, I think that may be their ticket out of the hole. Look for even more of those quick hitters.
Oladipo goes in. On the wing, Harris. 32 seconds left to play in the final quarter. It falls! Guys, a critical time for them in this ballgame.
No room for mistakes right now.
Here's Davis. That doesn't go either for Davis.
You know, not sure if he's playing to the crowd, but no need for the fadeaway on that shot.
And they go to the intentional foul. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really want. He's got one more, though. And he ends up missing both free throws. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
Yeah, it sure has been the case. I mean, turnovers are like missing breakfast. Eventually, it's going to cost you.
Well, I've always thought that it was good to maybe miss a breakfast or two, but that's another story. Anyhow, you can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
You've got to figure those are the free throws that officially put this game out of reach.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're behind by 5. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, time, a huge factor right now. They've got to get points and then the foul.
Yeah, it has to be quick because every tick is critical.
And I love the way he uses his size there to make sure he gets that board.
And so it's Orlando winning this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And we send you now over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take a look now at our Jordan?
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the charts. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
Well, his ability to get into the paint and get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.